My brain is turning into mush. So, hi, I'm Jasmine, and this is my channel. Welcome. Um, I'm 22 years old, and I've dealt with depression since I was probably around 12 years old. And over the years, experiences and trials, it has increasingly gotten worse. I've self-harmed. There have been days where I would just cry all day and I wouldn't eat anything. I've had suicidal thoughts, and through all of it, I've had to go through alone. And I'm going to explain that in just a moment. So, this year was my breaking point, as you all know, because I've been sharing it with you guys on my channel. But I wasn't actually just thinking about suicide. I was actually planning it. All I was looking for was the right time to do it. Or maybe I was looking for a miracle. I had thought about seeing a therapist, and once I actually looked into getting myself into rehab because I just needed help. So I started by quitting my job, and then from there I took small steps and changes to just make myself feel better. And one of those things is seeing a therapist. So I talked to my friend about it first, and that was the first time that I actually was able to open up about what was going on with me in depth. And she told me about her going to therapy, and it convinced me that maybe it was time that I do. And it helped having that friend with me, to have someone to talk to about it. And having friends who go to therapy makes the thought of going more comfortable. And honestly, I love therapy. I honestly love it. It feels so good just to be doing something for myself and to have that place to talk about me and what's going on inside my head. And I look forward to my sessions every week. It makes me happy. But I still have a lot more improvements to make. That's for sure. Not everyone is going to enjoy or not everyone is going to have a great time or enjoy seeing a therapist or going to therapy. I know that there are a lot of people out there who hate therapists. And there may be a ton of different reasons why they feel that way. One thing you can do is try out a few different therapists. There may be someone you're more comfortable with, someone who may be able to treat you better, and someone you can really connect, who can really connect with you. It's kind of like dating in a way, you know? Something that's always bothered me is when people say there's no shame in reaching out. I realize there are people out there that do feel shameful, like asking for help is a sign of weakness or whatever it may be, especially with men. So first, I like to say that there is no shame in reaching out and asking for help. There is no shame in having a mental illness and seeing a therapist. The way I see it, it shows strength. You acknowledge that there's something wrong and you want to get better instead of letting yourself drown in your own darkness and misery alone. Now, the reason why it bothers me when people say there's no shame is because I really just don't see why anyone would be ashamed. Besides what I just said. I guess maybe because I'm not ashamed. Shame isn't the reason why I refrain from reaching out. I've never wanted to see a therapist or talk to anyone about what was going on with me, because with my experience, no one would ever understand me. No one would ever tell me what I wanted to hear. And there was no point in talking or telling anyone about anything because there was nothing anyone could do to help me, to fix it, and nothing would change. And then no one stayed, so eventually I had no one to talk to, and by then I'd already learned my lesson. So maybe that's something that you can relate to. Maybe that's why you don't want to see a therapist. Like, maybe you're not ashamed at all. Maybe you just don't like talking to people. You know. Another reason for me, and I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but I've always had trouble with speaking properly and saying the right things whenever I was in the one-on-one situation. I grew up being the quiet one, and I had no social skills. All the things I could have said to explain something better wouldn't pop into my head until much later. I didn't know how to speak my mind unless I had time beforehand to write it out, just like I do for these videos. And I'm also reading it off right now because I'm trying to make this under 25 minutes like last time. Wish me luck. That's why I'm also better at texting, or that's why I'm better at talking to, what? Okay, now I lost my place. I don't understand what I'm trying to say here. That's why I'm also better at talking to people through text. There we go. Because otherwise, I just mess things up and make it awkward. Kind of like what I did. That's why I never wanted to see a therapist, because I was afraid of not being able to explain myself. But in my adulthood, I have improved and I continue to improve. And I feel safe with my therapist. Like, I know she gets me, and even when she doesn't, I can help her. Because going to therapy is all about me. It's a place where I am the priority. There's always room for improvement, and I can take as much time as I need. As long as we don't go over time, that is. Because therapists are busy people. Lost my place again. Therapists are busy people, and right after you, they're meeting with someone else who is equally as important. So never be bitter if your time is cut short or starts late because of someone who came before you or someone who comes after you. To those people, their time is just as important to them as yours is to you. You are not... No, wait. I skipped a line. And to a therapist, all his or her patients are equally important. Very, very important. So, you are not your therapist's only patient. Therapists make a living listening to people's problems every day, all day. Then they do their very best to figure out what each person needs and put each one first and give them the proper treatment and diagnosis. I said that real proper. Some therapists may carry a lot of weight on their shoulders. In some cases, they even carry lives. Like, there may be a day when my life may rest in my therapist's hands because my suicidal thoughts are getting just so heavy and real, you know? So they carry people's lives in their hands in some cases. Their number one mission is to help people in the best way they can and spread good vibes to everyone they meet with. I've officially been diagnosed with major depressive disorder My therapist has also referred to it as unipolar depression. So it's kind of like bipolar depression, but it's a constant presence in my life. So it's a unipolar depression. Never heard of that before, but it's really cool and I like it. And what we've basically been working on is getting more positivity. Did I say that word? We're getting more positivity into my life. What else are we doing? We're working on getting more positivity into my life and recognize what it is that makes me depressed, while also helping me figure out how to keep moving forward and keep improving. Yay. I did it. I did it! Okay. So one article that's really helped me before I went to see my therapist is on the I Don't Mind website by Christopher Wood. On there, there's a blog post that talks about things to know before seeing a therapist. And this is not sponsored in any way whatsoever. I just really love their merch and the cause because it's amazing. So I do just invite you to check them out because it is a great cause. All the money they earn goes towards mental health programs and such. And it's a really great cause, a great website with great merch. You'll see me in another video wearing one of my t-shirts. It says I don't mind on one of my shoulders. I don't know. But it's really cool. I have another one too. It's like a green box and it says I don't mind in it. Love it. I love Christopher Wood. I love Supergirl. And I love psychology and mental health. Love it. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. Not really ahead of myself. Whatever. I'm talking too much. That's what I mean. So anyways, check them out. Go buy some merch. It's a great cause. Go read the blog and, read that one about seeing a mental therapist. Yes, see a mental therapist. Because that's, whatever. You understand what I'm trying to say. Anyways. Their slogan I really love because it kind of explains, what they're trying to promote. It's your mind matters, so let's talk about it. So I'm Jasmine, and my mind matters, so I talk about it here on this channel. So subscribe, hit like if you like Supergirl. Share with all your friends, I guess. I don't know, I kind of don't feel comfortable asking people to share things, but you can if you want to. I don't know. I'm trying to spread the word and help any way I can. That's what my goal is here. So yeah, subscribe because I try to post as often as I can. I'm having trouble right now with editing because my computer sucks. So that's why you're getting this and everything I wrote down in here. And this is why it's so hard to film because you should have seen the bloopers. I'm keeping some bloopers. I'm thinking I might do a blooper video one day. So I'm gonna save some clips here and there. So once I get my computer fixed, I can edit that together and it's gonna be hilarious and adorable. Because I'm adorable. Check out my video, Love Yourself. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna just, subscribe here. Watch Love Yourself here in this little box. You can watch my previous video right down here. Yeah. Stay real and have a super sparkly day. And talk about your mind because it matters. Yes. I'm trying to think of something cool to say, but that was really cool. Because I don't mind. So let's talk.